Look at the kicks. Look at the kicks. Look at the kicks. Look at the kicks.
Welcome to the sneaker closet where we talk the flyest kicks. Find out when they're about to drop and find out what the value is. Matt and Johnny going in. Make sure you're tuning in. Every week they talking sneaks, a new pair that I gotta get. Welcome to the sneaker closet where we talk the flyest kicks. Find out when they're about to drop and find out what the value is. Matt and Johnny going in. Make sure you're tuning in. Every week they talking sneaks, a new pair that I gotta get.
Welcome back to the closet. I'm your host, Matt Roach, here with my trusty, I don't know why he's wearing a Yankee fitted today, host, Johnny Pena.
Yo, what's going on, my people?
I'm going to continue because I was making fun of you before we started recording. You're not even from New York, and you live in the one city that can't stand New York sports.
Hey,
I mean, I'm sure there's other cities, but like at least it'd be different if you were from New York or New York tri-state area-esque. You're from ATL in Boston. Like not even remotely close to New York.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I just like the emblem on the fitteds and the snapbacks. Like it's not me saying that I'm a Yankees fan because I hate the Yankees, but that's just me. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I grew up. I didn't grow up hating the Yankees. It's just, Yankees has always been a dominant team, and the Red Sox is trying to continue a streak, even though they missed some consecutive playoffs and making it to the World Series. But it is what it is, man. We gonna open up old wounds.
This guy. Oh, my Lanta. So first of all, that unacceptable. Unacceptable. You need to like get out of the 617 before you can do that. That's just like, man.
I mean,
I'm not even a diehard like Red Sox. I mean, I like the Red Sox, but I'm not like a diehard fan. But man, imagine it'd be different if you were actually a Yankees fan.
no, yeah, of course.
You're not even a Yankees fan. You're just wearing it because it's the cool thing to do.
I'm not wearing it because it's the cool thing
You
to do.
were-
I'm
you were
wearing
wear-
it. No, I'm wearing it
Yeah,
because I like
yeah.
to wear it. It looks good.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
No, but I mean,
Sure.
before before going into sneakers, we wanted to throw a little tidbit out there. We just wanted to let everyone know in the Asian American community that we stand behind you guys 1,000% in everything that's going on in the world right now. If you guys haven't been tuned into the news, make sure you pop that on, look at some articles, and just continue to stand by you guys with everything that's going on, from the hate crimes and all these other things. And if there's anything that we can do, feel free to reach out. But we just wanted to let you guys know that you guys don't stand alone. You know what I mean? So we're here.
Yep, definitely. We appreciate all the people who are doing stuff. I know I donated the other day to the stop. Was it AAHI?
Is it
Asian
AAPI?
American
No.
AAPI? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with initials. AAPI. And like our friends over at AWOL Print Shop and AWOL, they're doing, if you make a donation, you send it to them, they'll send you a t-shirt, just say, thank you for supporting. They're great guys, so check them out, AWOL Print Shop and Shop AWOL, and just send them a copy of your donation. So we stand by you. We don't like violence of any kind. So we're here for you.
Always support.
But we're also here for kicks. We
Yeah.
got kicks on kicks, and we got Air Max Day coming up. And we got a new silhouette, a new sneaker from Nike, the Air Max Pre-Day. What's your initial hot take?
I like it. It reminds me of the Airbreaker. It reminds me of the Tailwind in a sense. It's something different, and I think through the years and through the months, like every time there's a release, there's so many releases that are happening so frequent. Like you're basically putting yourself into debt trying to keep up with all these releases, honestly. And that's
True.
only to talk on if you're able to actually cop a pair, right? So we're not talking about paying resale. We're actually talking about retail. If you're able to get things for retail, you're putting yourself into debt because it's like every time something drops and you like, you're trying to get it. So with these, I like them. I don't see anything wrong besides the colorway. That little slime light green, I guess you could call it. I'm not really a fan of that color, just me personally, but I definitely see more colorways coming. Obviously, I don't think that they're going to stop right here with this first colorway, but I aesthetically, I don't see anything wrong with the shoe itself. I mean, it looks like it has phenomenal support. It looks like, it could be a running shoe or just an everyday daybreaker shoe.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with it. I think I appreciate that Nike's still just like coming out with models. They're trying to just create new things and seeing what sticks. I I like the innovation. I like that they're always thinking, at least trying new stuff. Do I love it? It's kind of it's a no go for me, especially in that colorway. This is one of those shoes where maybe in a different colorway, and if I got it for free, I'd wear it. Or if I got it for really cheap, like, just kind of like a wear outside type shoe, no issue with it. Uh, it, I like that they're trying things. It's just, it's just not for me. I don't know the demographic they're going for with this. It doesn't seem like it's meant to be a performance shoe. Just based on the materials and like its look. You don't see many performance shoes that have suede on the front for the most part. I mean, yeah, you do. I mean, you see Asics and stuff like that, and there are other Air Maxes, but I don't tend to see a lot of people running in an Air Max 1 with
Yeah.
suede on the front. You know what I mean? You don't see. Yes, it's technically a performance shoe, but when's the last time you saw somebody running in one?
Right.
I don't hate it. To me, it seems like a shoe you see at Kohl's or Bob's stores or one of those shops that you can get pots and pans and shoes. It to me it doesn't look like a shoe I'd want to spend $130 on.
Nah. Do I think
It's
this is going
just
straight to clearance? I believe so. I
and
honestly,
I don't think they have high expectations for it. I think they just figure they'll try a new model out. Why not do it on Air Max Day? No harm, no foul.
that makes
So I
sense.
don't hate it. It's just not for me. And there's probably some people who love it. I bet you it is interesting look. It's got like a bunch of different materials. It's got like synthetics. It's got suede. It's got leather. It's got this like outside stitching with plastic, and it's got looks like the liners are on the outside near the lace locks. I mean, there's a lot happening here. Um, I don't fault him for it. I mean, futuristic is kind of what's in right now. I think it definitely fits the style of the moment. It's just
The naming
not.
convention for me is one of those one-off weird ones, right? Like,
I don't understand the name pre-day. That doesn't
yeah, like
like pre
is it
back in the
supposed to?
day.
Yeah, is it supposed to be like a secret? Is it supposed to be, like a pre-release before the actual release where you release like 6 different colorways? I don't know. So the naming conventions to me just seem like one of those one-offs, but overall I
I
think
mean,
the shoe is just an everyday shoe. I think the price point is always going to be what the price point is. If this was years ago when we were a lot younger and not balding and not graying in the beard, I think, it would probably be at 84.
wow, leave my beard. I'm gonna have to start shaving skin tight. Imagine, whew, savage.
I think honestly it would be an
Uh,
84.99 shoe.
it, I agree with that. I actually think at that price point, you get a lot more people to kind of pull the trigger. I actually have no issue with it. But they're not just releasing that. I mean, they're also releasing other shoes, and this isn't their hallmark staple shoe. They're also releasing, an Air Max 1, which I find really interesting. It's got the token 326 on the back, for Air Max Day, and this shoe is like a cornucopia to me. I it's it's like a what the Air Max 1. It's just all over the place. And the weird thing is I don't even hate it. I don't know what I feel, but it's got on one side it's got a not a nylon, but like a plastic swoosh cutout, like almost like an acrylic. And then on the other side, it's got embroidery. And then on the midsole, it's got random black going through where the bubbles are or whatever they're called. And it's got like there was a lot of detail in it. The inside like insoles have past shoes that have been released, and
So people don't know this though. Those shoes are actually what inspired this Air Max One that's releasing on Air Max one day. So that insole itself is all
oh, like
is
the evolution.
yeah, exactly. Is
That's probably why
of
it says evolution
all
of. Yeah.
exactly is of all the shoes from the insole that's on the
And the
insole.
box is really cool too. It's
Yeah,
got all those shoes, the boxes for it meshed into one. It's a cool aesthetic. Uh, and now that you say that, I can't unsee it.
yeah,
So, and it's funny you say that because there's certain aspects I look and I'm like, wow, this really looks like a 95 or a 97, looking at the toe box and things like that. So, this, to me, this is a fun shoe.
okay.
I don't, I'm not saying I wouldn't go for it. I don't, at the moment, I've been buying less and less shoes. Uh, I think it's just gotten too hard to cop stuff. And it adds up. You only can have so many shoes. And especially because we talk about this all the time. We don't go out as much.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
is
like
true.
I used to buy a lot more because I went out a lot more. So for me, I'm not ruling these out, but I don't think I'm gonna. It's not a must cop for me, but I do think that they're kind of fun. I think they're unique. They're interesting. There's some thought put into it. I'll give them that. I think that they worked hard to build something unique. So I'm not
The
gonna hate on this at all.
the only thing that I'm gonna hate on, and it's probably just like the small tedious things. For me, not every Air Max or every Nike shoe should have that little small check box, not the check box, the small little check mark on the toe
Where?
box itself, on the side of the
Oh, I
toe.
hate that. I don't
And
like
it's
that
just
at
like
all.
it's just like we know it's a Nike shoe. Why are we adding, another smaller version of the Nike check? That's the only thing that I
People love that though. I don't understand it. For me
yeah,
personally, I don't like it at all. And I know you don't. You're not really feeling it either. Is that they throw it on shoes? There's already 6 other swooshes on that shoe.
exactly.
It's on both. It's on both sides and the tongue tag, and on the inside of the shoe, and on the back. It's. I don't need more, but at the same time, I agree with you. I don't understand how that like became a thing that people love.
Well, I mean, it started with, the obviously the Air Max One, but it started a little bit later. You didn't really see it a lot. I feel like it was like close to the end of last year, coming into this year that it started.
Yeah.
And I think it's just they're just gonna continue to go with it. But this shoe that's going to be dropping, resale value is gonna be ridiculous. So if you cop, make sure you keep. Definitely wear your kicks. Hashtag wear your kicks because you know that's what I'm in the game for, is to wear my kicks, even though I don't wear a majority of them because there isn't anywhere to go. Even if there was places to go, I wear my shoes to the ground before I actually swap it out for another pair. Um, and yeah, happy almost Air Max Day, as you can see back here. Got the Air Maxes displayed and stuff. So, we're just
Oh,
staying
look
in the
at
vibes with it,
you.
man. We're staying in the vibes with it. We
Look at
actually
you.
have nah, that one doesn't have it. I thought one of my Air Max ones had the little small check to show everybody on video, but I don't think
I
my
only
Air
have a
Max
couple
One actually
pairs.
has
I
it.
think I have 2 pairs. I clearly got the camos from last year's Air Max Day, and
Yeah.
then I think I have the Aqua ones. That's it. I don't really have a ton of Air Maxes. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
Well, I mean,
it's
the Aquas are my
still
favorite. They're one of my favorites of all time. Like, if
yeah.
I could have, and I got them for nothing, and now they're like $500.
Yeah.
I paid
I think
$70 for those.
I think it just
On
started, like I said, it started close to the end of the last year, coming into this year, and it's just gonna keep going depending on what shoe they drop. And I hope they just keep it with the Air Max One because it definitely doesn't belong on every Nike shoe, honestly speaking.
I don't know why, like some of these ones, they just like went out of control. Like I got those for $70, the Air Max One Aquas,
And
and
now
now
they're
they're
just buku amount of money.
I don't understand. Like I'm actually looking on StockX now to see, but I think that the last sale was 270, and they are currently, for my size, $300. 300. I
Yeah,
paid $70 for those.
telling you, sneakers is like the
I had
stock
I
market.
had I had multiple pairs. I actually returned one just to return it because I ended up getting a pair cheaper.
It's
Like
wild.
I had both the blue and the red, and I just returned them for retail. Like I bought them from Nike and returned them, and now they're $400, $500. It makes absolutely no 422 for the anniversary red. I had two pairs of those. There was no resale market for it.
That is crazy.
There was absolutely no resale market for it. Because if you look back, say like I mean, there was times where it was. Well, actually, no. There was always like somewhat of a market. It looks like. I mean, it was only at like 200, one
I mean, the
something,
thing that
one and
I wish
change.
that they would bring back for Air Max Day is just the whole creativeness, right? Like letting other people create a shoe and then everybody voting. That was definitely one of the highlights in this whole sneaker journey for me, is just having the ability to see people actually put their thoughts to pen and then material, and then that material actually being developed into something obtainable. And
Yeah,
going forward, I don't know what their plans are. If they're doing it every 5 years, every 10 years, I'm not sure. But I think that aspect is something really dope, because I see people wearing these Nike Day Creator shoes more frequent than not, believe it or not. And I think a lot of people out there just can't really find the outlet to do these certain type of things, or they don't know what route to take. So for Nike to open something up like that, they definitely need to bring that back. Definitely. Just don't invite Matt, because I don't think Matt has any, creative spark. He's more into leather creating and stuff like that. So
what do you think shoes are made out of? They're not made out of hopes and dreams. They're mostly leather.
yeah, but I
What do you
mean,
think the end? What do you think the end game is? I want to make sneakers.
no, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think later down the
I'm
road,
just enjoying making everything right now, like duffels and belts
yeah.
and all that
I,
stuff. I'm
I
just
think later down the road you're gonna be able to start creating stuff, and you're gonna be booming. You're gonna be
I
booming.
think it.
You're gonna get so many orders. You're not even gonna know what to do with yourself.
I
Hire
wish.
me
No,
as
it's
an assistant.
no, I like that. I like the sound of that. No, it's all about learning the craft. You got to learn it all inside and out. Like same with like customizing. Like I learned a lot about it, but I know I don't have the same talent as Mosh and Sab and all those guys. It's not. You either have it or you don't. You don't have that level. Like I see the stuff Sab does all the time, and no matter what I do, I'm never gonna have his creative skills. He's just a natural born artist.
I mean, that's like
You
if you
know,
were NFL's prospect or NBA prospect, right? Like if you
there's God
were,
given ability.
yeah,
It's
exactly. If you got it, if you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. And if you do got it, what outlets do you take to actually move forward to creating more? Like for you,
yeah.
you're into the whole leather game, so you're creating everything. You're learning exactly what works, what doesn't work. So for Nike, they're learning as they go. They can throw something out, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then they scrap it, put it
They
in
can
the
take a
vault, and
hit.
forget about it. Yeah, exactly. They have the
So
capital
like
for that.
yeah, and they can always take risks. And for me, do I like that? The Atmos one's better or the Sean Witherspoon's better? Yeah, of course. I mean, every year is not going to be a banger. You're not going to have just amazing stuff. You're not going to have a Sean Witherspoon or the Atmos one from 4 or 5 years ago. Those they happen, and sometimes you strike gold and it's an amazing shoe, and sometimes you just don't. It is what it is. But I don't hate on it for their staple shoe this year. I think the Evolutions of Icons is a nice Air Max one. I think it's gonna easily sell out in a second,
No,
and
definitely, definitely.
people are gonna buy it, and it's gonna sell for crazy money. And if I happen to hit, I will totally just probably flip it because I have no desire for it.
I
I
mean,
mean,
if that's the case, you might as well just go for my size if you're just gonna flip it.
I always go for your size on stuff I know I don't want. I just I have no desire for it, so
Yeah.
I don't hit anyways. I mean, how often do I actually hit? I did hit recently for my wife's size, and she didn't really want either of the shoes, so I just sold them. No, I thought that they were safe, that she would want them. I mean, she has like little kid feet, so they're tiny.
I mean,
Maybe
that's
that's why
what
I
happens
hit.
when you're trying
That's
to be
probably why I hit,
thoughtful.
because they were tiny sizes. That's probably why I hit. They were like the UNC ones. I think they were the Dunks, and she wasn't feeling them. But also, what am I gonna do with a little shoe?
No, that
I
is
can't.
true.
I don't have any friends that have that small feet. I mean, you got tiny feet, and those things would be tiny to you.
Yeah.
It's like, I think she's like an 8 woman's or something. So it'd be like a 6.5 men's.
Oh my
What am
goodness.
I gonna do with a
That's
six and a
base
half men's?
size. That's base
Yeah,
size.
so it's tiny,
That's the
so I
money
can't do it.
size, yeah. That's
So Air Max Day is coming up. We got the 26th. It's always a fun day. They always put out good stuff. Always enjoyable. But there's other things happening too. I mean, we saw, one shoe I wanted to talk about was at the All-Star game. Kawhi Leonard was seen in those New Balance Bape 2002 Rs or 2022. I don't know. They think they call it 2002 Rs.
yeah.
Or 2002 Rs. And those, I got to tell you, I just don't know. Like, in my mind, it reminds me of like a 992, an ASIC runner, and like a Bapesta all in one. I don't like know how to. I like love it and don't know at the same time. I don't know. I like want it, but I also like, it's one of those shoes where like if I got it,
Yeah.
I would totally wear it, but I also don't want to spend the money because I bet you they're going to be north of $200. But they're
I
also
mean,
going to be coming in a couple colorways.
this wasn't what he obviously played in, correct?
No. These are just a runner. They're
Yeah,
just
so
like
these
they're
were just
very
a
much
walk.
like a
Yeah,
992,
it
991.
was probably just like a workout shoe or walk through tunnel shoe, and then
Yeah,
he
it was they saw him in the tunnel. He was wearing it in the tunnel.
yeah.
But I mean, you know me, like the 992, the gray 992 is one of my favorite shoes of all
Iconic,
time.
iconic.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shoes of all time. I
Yeah.
always have a pair in the house. But these, I don't know. I clearly like them, but it's one of those ones where they're probably going to be, $2.25, and I'm not sure I would want to spend that, but
No,
I
hands
like them.
down,
I like them a
hands
lot. I can't explain it. It's very rare that I can't like articulate my feelings on a shoe, but I want them.
No,
But I also don't want to spend on them. Maybe I'm just being cheap. I don't know.
so for
But like I
these,
want them.
yeah, for these shoes themselves, I can tell you right now, a Bape collaboration is nowhere shy than 220 and above. That's definitely the bottom line is 220. So we don't know exactly the price point, what it's going to be, but anything Bape touches, going from the Mitchell and Ness jerseys, the Celtics, the Lakers, those were
Yeah.
fire. Then you go
Those
down
were dope.
to the shoe collabs with Adidas, those were fire. You go now with New Balance, and correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen a Bape collab in New Balance sneakers at all. And I could be completely wrong. I don't remember seeing a Bape collaboration with New Balance. And if there was, I probably missed it completely. But I think you take an iconic brand, mix it with another iconic company and shoe creator, you mash those two together, you're either going to hit rock bottom or you're going to hit fire. And I think I call it like army fatigue, kind of, right? Because
They
that's
also
what,
the two colors too. You're right. So it's like the black one is also more is very has a different feel too. So like
right.
they're two shoes that have very different feels, and also putting it on Kawhi is also like the least. I need to see it. Like when I see like Mosh got a pair, I see him in it, and I'm like, oh, these look fire. I see Kawhi Leonard in it, and I'm like, oh, my grandfather's wearing shoes. Like I like Kawhi as a basketball player. He's a phenomenal athlete, but he's like the most boring dude ever. Like that man should be like the spokesperson for like Raisin Bran or like prune juice.
Wheaties.
Like no, not Wheeze. Wheeze is too cool for him. Like prune juice or like bran muffins. Like he's
I
just
mean,
he's just so boring. Like
he's a simple guy. He doesn't really want much of anything. He just comes to play the game. He, puts
And there's
up
nothing
some
wrong
numbers,
with
and
that.
that's
He's just
it.
not there's nothing wrong with that. He's just not marketable. He's marketable because of his skills and people care about what he's doing. But when he talks, it's like I expect him to just come out and just be like, "I had cornflakes and dry toast for breakfast." It's like I he's so
Not dry
I've had
toast.
more
What dry toast tastes like, man? What are we
that's what
saying right now?
I feel like dry toast is Kawhi Leonard's personality. He's just so blah. Like he's very marketable because he's not causing controversy, but he's also not exciting. You don't want to. I don't buy anything because I saw Kawhi Leonard flexing it. You know what I mean? It's not like he doesn't influence my decision to buy something. It's just nothing against him. He's a remarkable NBA player. He's an all-time talent, but he's just boring as sin. Like if LeBron wears something, it looks good.
Right.
Steph Curry, you know what I mean? Like, well, even Steph Curry can't get me to buy Under Armours, but nothing against. The thing that's it's not that he's not marketable either, and he's not that he has a bad. I don't know. I guess maybe it's just he
It's
doesn't
just
do a good
brand
job.
wise. It's just brand
No, I
wise.
just his shoes never call to me. I don't. Maybe it's just like his shoes always feel more like running shoes than basketball shoes to me. The
So if
early
Kawhi
ones
if
had
Kawhi was a shoe, what type of shoe would Kawhi be?
a Monarch.
Okay. I was gonna say Steph Curry because Steph Curry's shoes
They don't call to me. It's just
they don't excite me.
I think they've built them so much to fit him perfect
Hmm.
that I don't know. They don't seem like something I want to like ball in. They don't. And also maybe it's a marketing thing. Maybe just Nike's just better at marketing.
I
But
mean,
New Balance has done a really good job of. The thing is, that's how successful their marketing department is when they can almost make Kawhi seem like something you want to get.
that's true.
I mean, that's impressive from your
That is
marketing department. Like they're literally making lemonade out of molasses. I mean, it's impressive. Like I don't know how you do that, but that is impressive. So to get that far with him is impressive. But these shoes are just fire. I love them and don't need them at the same time. Yeah, I just can't articulate it.
they're a comfy shoe, hands
That's the
down.
thing too.
Yeah, like
And to be honest, I always am very like I want New Balances in general.
yeah.
I find them extremely comfortable. They're timeless. Like especially when you throw that iconic gray, I would have 50 pairs of those and be totally fine. Like a gray like suede New Balances, I would take 50 pairs of them.
I
Throw
mean,
Crep
with
Protect
with a
on them and
gray with a gray, silhouette, you really can't go wrong with it, right? Because you
no.
can wear it around the house, you can wear it outside. It doesn't matter what fit you have on, you could wear those shoes. I think for it to be as comfortable as a shoe that it looks, like the looks of that shoe just looks comfortable. It's just like, okay, let me go to the grocery store, I'm gonna throw these on and I'm out of here. Let me go mow the lawn, throw these on, I'm out of here. Like it's just an everyday shoe. And I think the collaboration, I think what most people don't understand is that majority of collaborations make people want shoes even more. And with the whole hype now, I was just talking to Nick, shout out to Nick Engvall, and the sneaker combos that he's having this week. I was talking to him, and this Bad Bunny Adidas collaboration, the shoe was $160. It's now being sold for $600. Since when have
That's
you seen a
crazy.
skateboarding Adidas shoe sell for $600? It's the
Never.
collaboration behind it that's making it what it is. So, do I think athletes have less of an impact on the sneaker game than what celebrities do? I think 100% yes. I don't think there's one celebrity, I don't think there's one athlete that makes a sneaker skyrocket out of price, except for Kobe, may he rest in peace.
Yeah, but I feel like that's no, because you can't like LeBron, Jordan, like these guys. Their silhouettes sell for absurd amount of money. I mean, it's not like LeBron's are just when he does stuff, people buy it.
I'm not saying nobody buys it. I'm what I'm saying is that there's no athletes that are making one single silhouette, at least last year and this year, one silhouette skyrocket. When Luca
Well, the
had
thing is,
his first pair drop, those didn't go
but
anywhere.
you can't give them the same credit because what they're doing is they're redesigning shoes that were already iconic. Like it's not like Travis Scott took, you know, a Monarch and like made it cool. He took the Jordan 1, he took the Jordan 4, he took some of the most iconic shoes and did his twist on it. It's not like he was sitting there going, "Let me take let me take the Air Max pre-day and take my twist." Cuz he did that trail thing, the thing that looked like the McDonald's like what was it? The Air Max, was it the 270 or whatever it was? And he also did a Jordan
Oh yeah,
34, the Cactus Jack like 34, and those were doo-doo and they didn't sell. So, yes, he's going to sell a Mocha Jordan 1.
the 34s are
Of
going
course,
for some. They were going for some money at one point.
I think they're like back to virtually nothing. But like he's taking iconic shoes and like putting his spin on it in very popular colors. It's not like he's just taking straight up garbage. So
There's
I have a
also
hard
two
time.
different leagues. There's two different leagues, right? You have
And like
celebrities that are
And Jake
entertainers, and
Alvin did the Jordan 1. You know, he did like all these things. Like he took a UN like you look at Travis Scott, these are some of the shoes he did it on. He did it on Air Force 1, iconic. A Jordan 4, a Jordan 1, a Jordan 1 low. Like he didn't do it on, just garbage shoes. He did on the Air Max 270. And those are currently selling for, let me see, a little over retail.
a
Not
little
nothing
over
cra
retail.
Let me see. Hold on. Oh, that was kid sizes. Sorry.
I'm about to
Um,
say, yeah. I think you might want to recheck that real quick.
no. So so you're not wrong in that sense. Like those are terrible shoes. Those are selling for 470.
Right.
So they're north of double its value. So I retracted on that statement because that's just a terrible shoe, and I think that is one of the most hideous shoes. So his name sold that because that's an awful shoe. I don't know where the basketball ones are. They don't even show up when you search it.
Which
So
basketball ones?
they were like a Jordan 34.
Yeah, so right now they're sitting at two, at least my size, lowest ask is 285. The last pair sold for 200. Retail was 185. So even then, like, when they released that first, obviously the name was behind it and it went up ridiculous, like, numbers that I wouldn't even pay for a shoe like this. Do I think the shoe is hot doo doo? Of course, hands down. Probably one of the worst shoes that he was able to touch. Every other shoe, like when I look at the Air Force One that he put his own twist to it, I don't know why it's all the way up in price. And now I know why, is because the name behind it. Travis
So that's
Scott
so
is
that makes my point. Is that so? I guess the 270 is an exception, but he did it on the Air Jordan, and it's at retail. So it's a 33, not a 34. So I retract that. But
mm,
for me and my size, it's right around retail.
yeah, my size is
So,
always gonna be above retail. So if y'all listen to this, man, I'm an 8.5. Whatever shoe you want to send over, send over. I
but
appreciate
that's what
anything.
happens when he does things that aren't iconic. You can take anybody who can make
What
a
do you mean?
Jordan 1.
What do you?
You could make a Matt Roach Jordan 1, and I guarantee you it would sell above retail.
It wouldn't. Don't give yourself that
If,
much credit. Don't
if
give
you
your.
let me if you let me take a Jordan 1, or perfect example, the Jordan 4. He did them in colors you can't get. He did UNC blue and purple. You can't get them any other way. So you're telling me that a UNC4 is not going to sell. It doesn't matter whose name is attached to that. It doesn't
It's
matter
gonna
what he does
no.
on it.
It's
That's gonna sell.
it's gonna sell, but it's also the name behind it. Like if you put Travis Scott in a room and you put LeBron James in a room, and they both tackle a shoe, who's coming up? Who's coming out on top? We're not talking about the shoe selling. The shoe is gonna sell regardless, whether the
You're saying
name
they
is
both
attached.
work on the same silhouette, though? Are they
The
both working on the same
the
silhouette?
same silhouette.
And it's a doo-doo silhouette, like just something that nobody cares
It
about.
doesn't. It doesn't matter. It could be. What did you say? The 32. We said it was the 34, but
33, yeah.
33. They both work on the 33. Which one's gonna sell more? Travis Scott's name is gonna sell more, hands down. I get it.
Probably.
You love basketball, but you have to be realistic here.
No,
Like,
I'm not against the fact that like I understand like Kanye's name sells. He's not an athlete, and Kanye's name sells, and they sell because they're Kanye. I
which
mean, they're
shout
good
out to
looking shoes,
Kanye. You've been out the media for some time, so I'm
but
happy for
like
you.
he sells, like he's a name that sells, and he does things. He creates his own designs. He does his own thing. Like I'm not, so I'm saying he's above the athletes. He's in his own realm.
Yeah,
I don't put him. He's in his own category to me. He's a true designer. Like there's a difference. I don't think there's like it's hard because the shoes are also you're in a sense, yes, Travis Scott is probably
it's okay
no,
to
it's hard.
agree with me, man. It's okay,
No,
my
no, no.
brother. You
I
don't have
don't
to agree
disagree.
with me all the time, but
No, no, no. But like as a celebrity, Travis Scott isn't as big of a celebrity as LeBron James. He's just not. In a global world, Travis Scott is not the same level celebrity that LeBron James is.
and that's where we go to being an entertainer versus being an athlete. When you're an athlete, you're known across the world because you're looking at Messi who plays soccer. You're looking at Cristiano Ronaldo who plays soccer. They're known around the world. So LeBron James is going to be known around the world, and Travis Scott is only going to be known around the places that
Yeah,
he
there's
tours in.
no, but
So
there's no difference because look at like people like Selena Gomez. She has over 200 million Instagram followers,
I don't know
more
about
than
that.
LeBron James. Kim Kardashian, probably north of 200 million. Kendall Jenner or Kylie Jenner, probably north of 200. Like they're all in that realm and they're not athletes. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo has maybe 300 or 250 million followers and he's an athlete.
I think he has the
But
most right now. But yeah.
yeah, I think he does. But entertainers are right there with them. So there's no difference between it's just your marketability because I would say people like Selena Gomez, BTS, like some of these like entertainers, they're far bigger than most athletes. I think there's just certain athletes that transcend things. Like I think if Selena Gomez sells something, it probably sells.
So you're saying, so what you're trying to tell me, because we're still on the comparison, what you're trying to tell me is LeBron is more marketable than Travis Scott. So you wouldn't
Oh
say that
yeah,
they're on the same marketability level.
no, no, not even
I
close.
I beg to differ.
Well, because you have to think about like worldwide. Travis Scott doesn't sell in Asia like LeBron James does. Travis Scott probably doesn't sell in Europe the same way that LeBron James does. Travis Scott in the United States is probably bigger than LeBron James. But Travis Scott outside of the United States is probably not bigger. And there's just a large population outside that you're going to see far more people who either know who LeBron James is or wearing something from LeBron James in Asia, in Europe, in,
No, that's also true.
Australia. You know what I mean?
That's
It's just
also true.
it's a worldwide economy, and I just don't
Yeah.
think he's big here, and we love him. But like I think Jay Balvin and these guys like they're big because they're international stars.
Mm-hmm.
They're big in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think we tend to see things a very American centric. But
That is true.
it's a global world, and like you think about like star power. For 25 years, Tiger Woods was probably the biggest celebrity in the world. He actually made golf popular in every continent. Everybody knew who Tiger Woods was. He transcended sports.
Now, do you think he would have had that same impact if he wasn't endorsed at the time by Nike?
It's hard because I think anybody would have endorsed him. At the time, he changed something. He's like Muhammad Ali. He changed the way people perceive things. Like like he transcended sports. He wasn't just an athlete. He was an icon. Muhammad Ali, an icon. These people they for as good and successful as Travis Scott is, he's LeBron James has been at this level for 20 years. Travis Scott's been at this level for 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
But you really
LeBron's
don't
been doing that.
progress as an entertainer until you get into roughly to your second to third year.
But I'm
Because
saying, like, is Travis Scott going to still be in this conversation in 10 years? Very few artists have that durability. You have Eminem, you have Jay-Z, you have, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. You have very few people Nas, like guys that can actually sustain for decades. It's really hard. And he's huge now, but think about who was huge in like 2010 when LeBron was still huge then.
I don't
You know
even.
what I mean? Like I
I
hope
can't
he's
even think back
successful.
then. Yeah, I can't even
Like I
think
hope
back
he's
then.
successful, but I don't know if he's got that staying power. And once you lose that notoriety,
Yeah.
you're forgotten about. And those shoes resale value is going to be nothing. If he comes out with a couple dud albums, I mean, here's a perfect example. Where's 50 Cent? He was large as life. Would you say he could outsell LeBron James right now?
As in what though? Like as in
If
because
he was
he's
to design, if he was going
his
to design
G.
a
I
shoe,
can tell you right now, his G Unit sneaker is not selling out anywhere. I can tell you that right
but
now.
like, if he was to design a shoe right now with LeBron James, who would sell more?
LeBron James, of course.
Yeah, but at the time when 50 was at his peak, 50 would have probably sold more in the U.S. At
Mm,
his peak when In the Club was big,
yeah,
he probably would have sold more.
I could possibly see him selling more. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's just staying power is much harder, and I think when you're at that level, you become a much different level. Like Cristiano Ronaldo's never going anywhere.
No, he's
He's
retiring.
forever, but like he's been
His
so big for
presence and
so
his
long. His
yeah,
presence
his
is
yeah,
enormous. It's
yeah,
always going to be felt, kind of like Jordan's. It was just when they're bigger than life, their star power is just always going to be there.
yeah. That's a
So
fact.
I think that was like
That's
the
a fact.
biggest thing is that like Travis Scott's huge right now, but
And I mean,
LeBron is
that's
LeBron.
not me. That's not me saying that neither is better than the other. It's just me
And
saying,
I
you
love the
know,
Travis Scotts. You're not
yeah,
wrong. I love the Travis Scotts. Like,
yeah,
do I wish I had both of those fours? Yes, Travis, if you're listening, I will. Those are probably two of like those purple fours are probably top two or three Grail level for me.
yeah.
Like those are iconic to me. They're amazing.
I'm gonna have to say his PlayStation collab is the only shoe that I really want out of all of them. Because I had the
The
Travis
purple.
Scott ones, but now I'm not really a big fan of it
I
anymore.
never liked those from the start. That was never me.
Yeah, it was a nice shoe. It was a dope
But it
idea.
was
But
clever.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like to be, and I made sure I gave him his credit. I thought that was clever to reverse the swoosh.
No, hands down,
I think
hands
I
down.
think if it was just a mocha, it wouldn't have sold as well. I think that was actually clever on his part.
No,
And do
that's
I
a fact.
think? And I believe Travis Scott is actually like intelligent. I think he's got like either that or he has an amazing team around him. It's either he's really smart or his team is really smart. So I don't know the specifics, but he makes great decisions and he's very marketable.
I mean, talking about LeBron, you want to go into these jerseys that
Yes, sir. I wanted to talk about these. So Nike just came out with their earned editions, their 2020, 2021 jerseys. So each year the playoff teams get their earned jerseys saying, "Hey, like you earned your stripes. All right, you get it. You get a special jersey." And you know my boys in green always get their jerseys. And some years, I'm not gonna lie,
doo doo.
it's not good. So there was a couple years ago, there are like Celtic versions a couple years ago. Those were not good. I actually bought a pair of the shorts on like cheap clearance, and Sab's gonna have a little fun with those and do something cool with it. I bought them for the specific reason because I got them at like a super cheap price, and I was like, Sab, let's just have some fun with these.
I want to see
Because
him
that
put
man, he's
that
gifted
python.
he's gifted in clothes. The
Yeah,
man, he's gifted in clothes and everything.
that python leather. I want to see him put that on that Celtics jersey that's supposed to drop. So that would be dope.
Yeah, so the man, he's always cooking up something. So now, before everybody says, "Hey, you're biased towards the Celtics," like 2 years ago, those were doo doo, big old doo doo. All right, so I can be hard on my Celtics. Do I think they're gonna have a chance to win it every year? Of course, we could be 0-72, and I love our chances, love them. But this year's earned jerseys, I'm a fan. I think they did some really cool stuff. Some teams got some really cool ones. Of course, like Lakers, very timeless, very clean. I like the Lakers ones. That's a dope look. The Miami Heat is the probably the biggest loser of the group. I have no idea why they came out with a bright yellow jersey that looks like the Indiana Pacers. I have absolutely no idea why anything in Miami is it just the whole thing it just looks like an Indiana Pacers jersey. It makes no sense.
But I
Clippers
mean,
was really cool.
you also look at the Blazers. It looks like a Spurs jersey, so I think they're a loser in that sense too. But
Yeah, it kind of does. I
yeah,
mean, it's an iconic look, but yeah, it does look like kind of a Spurs jersey.
right.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I think 76ers did a really cool job with the Liberty Bell. Always love when you kind of find
That's
cool things to do.
fire.
Yeah, that was and they put brotherly love right above the tag. That's a nice touch. It's got the the stars on the side, and that was a really clean aesthetic. I love that one. I also think the Orlando one is really cool. It seems fun. It seems fitting for Orlando in that area.
That basketball magic is never gonna go anywhere. I think that they would continue to use that logo on any jersey that they have, some way, somehow. They'll incorporate it
Yeah,
every time. So that one's iconic for me.
the Nuggets one is not really for me. I don't tend to love it. It looks like they somehow they combined a Wizards jersey and a Cavs jersey. Don't really understand that.
I can see
Um,
that.
I think the Bucks are in contention for one of the best of the year. I think they're it's really cool. I love it. Celtics, I'm feeling this. I am. It's not their best jersey they've ever made, but I do like the kind of Volt colorway. You don't really see Volt green on a lot of things.
Right.
So I'm into it. If anybody wants to buy me a present, I will take it. Any player, anytime. I will always wear a Celtics jersey.
Now the only
Uh,
the other one that really just drives me crazy, which I think is just basic as hell, is the Mavs jersey. I think that one's the most
yeah,
basic.
that one was kind of lazy.
Yeah.
There was a couple of them that felt lazy. That was one that kind of felt lazy. The Rockets felt extremely lazy because that
Yeah.
wasn't even creative. The Pacers took an old school approach. They took one of their old jerseys. I can't hate on it because that's an iconic Pacers jersey.
I mean, we talking
Uh,
Pacers or we talking Miami Heat?
I still my but the funny thing is Twitter was all over that too. They were just like,
Oh
"Yeah,
my
we're not
goodness.
having that." It was just
It's just the
ridiculous.
color itself doesn't incorporate anything.
It has
Like,
nothing to do with Miami. I don't understand it at all. Like, I want to know who thought about this. And the
right.
Rockets one was just sheer lazy. They were just like, "Hey, take one of our other ones and just throw it on there." Like, I
Sheesh.
think that's just their regular like away jersey. I don't even think they tried to do anything cool.
I mean, the
Like, at
Pacers
least this
jersey brings me back to like the old school days because that
Rick
pinstripe.
Smits and Reggie
Yeah,
Miller and all those old
exactly.
cool guys. Like, I
Brings
love
back
that.
the old school feel. So I think that was pretty dope. But Miami Heat is probably the big loser in this one, honestly.
And then there's the Nets, but to be honest, I feel like that isn't really that different. And
Yeah, the Nets is simple. The
I,
Nets is just like there's nothing that you can.
they go too dark. They're like, and now everybody knows I'm a huge Batman fan. They go way too dark. They're like DC. Their court, their uniforms, everything's too dark.
Right.
Like, why can't we have anything kind of vibrant? Like New York is like the most colorful city in the world. Like you have the possibilities are endless. Like you can do so many cool things. And yet everything is dark and dire. Like even your court is depressing. It's always like dark gray or like I don't know. Like I think of New York as the city that never sleeps and it looks like they don't turn the lights on in that arena. It's even honestly it's hard to watch a game in there. Like it's hard to just watch it. It's very dark and dreary and
I feel like
especially when you have this talent. Like right now you should just have like the most amazing colors because this is like your chance at winning like chip after chip after chip. You're never going to get this kind of talent again.
the Raptors jersey. I'll touch on that one last before we get into showing a shoe for Air Max Day to close out the episode. But I think the Raptors jersey is definitely the jersey for me. It's giving me those Vince Carter vibes. I'm not gonna lie to
It
you.
does have that. And I
Yeah,
don't know if we talked about the Thunder, but I thought that was kind of cool. They like made the Thunder look like Thunder was going through it.
yeah, that was pretty dope too.
I thought
That
that
was
was
pretty
kind of
dope.
cool. And
Yeah,
I think they're actually like thinking about fits too. Like I can see a lot of shoes that go with these. And I think that's why we want to talk about it, is because summer's coming up. I see a lot of fits that go with these. Like there's a lot of. I like the Thunder one a lot. So I mean, I wish they were cheaper, but at the same time, I think these are kind of dope. And you know, the only other one we didn't mention, the Clippers, we talked about this. It's just
yeah,
blah.
it's just blah.
And the Jazz, I don't. I have no qualms with it. It's just
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't have any feelings on it. But
I mean,
it's cool. There's a lot of fits. Like I really want the Lakers one, and let me just voice my concern. If anybody on the Celtics is listening, I can never get Marcus Smart jerseys when I want them in like when you do variants. They always do Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, and they used to do Gordon Hayward. Now let me tell you, Marcus Smart, that man is the life in the Celtics. I need now, Marcus, if you're even listening, please let's just tweet this to get Marcus's attention. A brother can't get a Marcus Smart jersey. Now, Marcus, when you wear this, I'm probably the same size as you. I think you're 6'2", 6'3". We're very similar. We probably weigh the same close too. I mean, we're both pretty fit, svelte guys. I probably bench 80. You probably bench 380 at this point because
you
you're
got the
just
dad
crazed.
bod. Don't compare
Ooh.
yourself. You got the dad bod.
Oh, watch. I just said I benched 80, and you just piled it on, man. So, Marcus, let's just get Marcus's attention. I need that jersey. I will rock that thing every day. So, thank you for helping me get to Marcus because I need it. But all right, what are we closing out for, sir?
So, as I like to do, because we'll probably run out of sneakers every time we do this, which is completely fine. Maybe we will run out of sneakers this show, but for Air Max Day coming up, I just wanted to pull out one of your favorite Air Maxes and just show it to the camera. Maybe we'll make it a thumbnail or something to close out the episode. But
When you make me, I gotta get up. I gotta get
no,
up.
that's
Take my
fine. That's
headphones
fine.
off.
I'll talk to the people. You know what I mean? We got the video now, so we good. The people that are listening, make sure you go head over to our YouTube and just follow us on Instagram as well. But I'll be able to show this. So this is the Delomio by C's. C's was the creator. Met him in person. He was a super dope dude. He came out with the Air Force Ones with the little domino pieces that went in the front for the Air Force Ones. This is the Air Max collaboration that he did. Oh yeah, I'm liking those, Matt. And
Oh yeah.
it's Dominican inspired, obviously. You got the Dominican up there, and Nike is really lenient on what you can put above the Nike check, which is super dope. And it's just overall a pretty dope shoe. I wore, and I have 3 pairs thanks to the homie. But this is the Delomio. I don't know how it's gonna look on video, but these are super dope. And the shoelaces I think are pretty fire. Definitely inspires the motherland with the colors. It's just a vibrant, country. And Caesar's doing a lot of good things not only for the community but also for himself, just being able to continue collaborating with Nike. And for Air Max Day, I'm definitely gonna wear these, and I'm definitely gonna try to go after those Nike Air Max Day Air Max ones that are going to drop on the Nike app. So we'll see. I might ask somebody for a oop, see if I can get those, because I think the shoe in general is just super dope. I think it's going to be something really nice to have in my wall of sneakers, and obviously in Matt's wall of sneakers if he decides to keep, which he probably won't. He'll probably just flip for a good coin, which I don't blame you, but
No,
I'm in
if I get your size, I always give it to you. But
yeah.
these are my Aqua Air Max ones. Love these.
How many times
These
you
are
wore
worn.
those?
Oh, a lot.
Doesn't even
Oh, a
look like
lot.
it, honestly.
Well, I always take these on vacation too.
That's...
No. There's definitely some like spots that need cleaning.
Is there purple on the tongue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's a little bit. And
What made you want to get? Yeah, before we head out,
these.
before we head out and give our socials and stuff, what made you want to get that? You said you always loved it, but what caught your eye at first glance and was like, "Oh, that's my baby. I got to get it."
I always loved blue and variations of blue. I always like teal and aqua and that kind of stuff. It was always my thing. Blue is always my favorite color, so I have a lot of blue stuff. I tend to have a lot of blue, and it's like UNC blue and stuff like that. So I tend to have a lot of blue and green. Mainly, that's just because of the Celtics at this point. I have way too much green, but I still need.
Hey,
I still
nothing
need that
wrong with
Marcus
the
Smart
green,
jersey.
right? Yeah, nothing
blue.
wrong with the green. But
I always
as
love the colors.
Yeah, as always, man, we appreciate you guys for tuning in, whether you're watching the video or you guys are listening to us on any streaming platform. Just make sure you head over to our Instagram page and our YouTube page, where you guys can find me is at Johnny Sneaks, JHONNY, SNEAKS, and Brother Bleed Green Matt, where are we finding you?
You can always find me at I am Matt Roach on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you can also see me. I'm starting to peddle my leather goods on that Etsy. I created an Etsy shop the other day. I'm just making stuff anyway, so I figure why not just sell it. So search me out in that Etsy shop. You want to buy some of those NFL football leather coasters? Yeah, your boy's making those. But no, we appreciate you, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
New pairs that I gotta get.
Welcome to the sneaker closet.
New pairs that I gotta get.
Welcome to the sneaker closet.
New pairs that I gotta get.
Welcome to the sneaker closet.
New pairs that I gotta get.
Welcome to the sneaker closet.